Hello and welcome to this course on environmental science. As you know, this course usually was being offered in second year, or even for some department it was offered in third year. So, from this year onwards, for your batch onwards, that is a batch of 2020, this course have been moved to first year now, and it has a new number as well, so which we'll discuss in the class. So, what we have decided to do what I have decided to do for this particular course, that I'll try to make some videos which I'll post it upfront. So, this is part of the first video that we are going to do on the different topics that we are going to cover in the class. So, this video will be available to you, but we will have our class in the regular time. This is an additional video resource available, and then in the class will be doing more of a discussion, so we can have more question and answers and other stuff. So, I encourage you to go over these videos before the class. So, again, go over these videos before the class, so that it will be easy for us to understand each other during the class, and during the class we will have more lively discussion. So, week 1, first video, let's get started. So, this is we are talking about environmental problems, causes and sustainability. That is the topic for this particular week, and within that we'll talk more of basics in what are the different environmental problems. So, before we get started on issues related to environment and this course, I would just like to introduce myself so that you know whom you have to deal with for this semester as part of this course, and many of you will probably take some of my other courses which I offer in civil engineering and several electives as well. So, I am also an alumni of this institute. Long back I graduated with civil engineering in BTech honors in civil engineering. Then I worked in consulting engineer as for 4 years, mostly based out of Delhi, but I did had a chance to travel around quite a bit. I worked on projects which was in Jamnagar, which was in Mangalore, also in Bombay High. So, I used to be in the sea for 15 days and off sea for 15 days. So, from time to time during my lecture, you will hear some stories from those different projects that I was working in India, also in abroad. So, after that I went, after working for nearly 4 years, for 4 years actually, then I went abroad to University of Florida to get my PhD, Masters leading to PhD. I don't have a formal Masters degree because I converted from Masters to PhD. So, I saved some time that way. Then I worked in Florida as a research scientist. Then I was taught and did research in New Zealand for some time. Then I was in US and Canada for nearly 6 years. In 2015, I decided to come back to India and join the alma mater, which is going to be your alma mater as well after 4 years, 4 years or 5 years when you graduate as associate professor in environmental engineering in the Department of Civil Engineering. And my focus is on sustainable engineering and integrated waste management systems. So, that is what I do research on. I provide training, I provide consulting services, I work with industries. And so, as an academic, many times you guys think that we only teach. Teaching is only, I would say, only around 40% of our time. Next 60% we have to do a lot of other things as well, research, working with the students, master students, PhD students, and so on and so forth. Working for different roles we have to do in the institute and also outside the institute, depending on where we are in our career. And these are some of the links for my first one is a Google profile, like Google is Scholar profile. It is usually researchers you will have it, then LinkedIn profile, and also these days you have to have a Twitter account. So, I also have a Twitter account, and since my main area is on waste management, so my Twitter handle is wasteprof. So, that's about me. So, why this course? For any course, you have to look at little bit of history behind it. So, whatever courses you will take this year, this semester, or even later on in your in different semesters, every course has a like a history, there is a logic, there is a rationale why it is there. So that's so I wanted to highlight why this course. Many of you might be thinking what we have to learn in environmental science. I'm a civil engineer, I'm a chemical engineer, or I'm going in humanities, or I might be in a 5-year integrated MSc program. So we have variety of students since this is first year course, and but for each one of you this course is important. And why it is important, that's what I want to highlight in next couple of minutes. So as you may be aware, so this course came about because of a Supreme Court directive. We had a Supreme Court directive, I think it was early this century and early 2000s. I don't exactly remember the date, you can always Google that and find it. So that's not that important, but we had this Supreme Court directive. Based on the Supreme Court directive, this course was developed in fact in all the professional degree programs, and the goal of this course is to sensitize yourself, like to make you aware of the environmental issues. Does not matter whether you will be an engineer, whether you will be some other discipline, whatever discipline you will work for, but this course is giving you the basic tools. So it will give you a basic tools so that whatever decision you make, whether you as an IS officer or as an even you can be a minister, like we have the chief minister graduating from IITs. So you can be in any position that you will be working on. Whatever decision you will take, that has certain environmental implications. So this course is trying to highlight those environmental implications, and and we will try to tell you that what are the tools available, how to find out which is something is environmentally better or not. Say for the example, you want to build a newer, we had this issue of say in Mumbai last year where this they had to cut down RM Milk Colony area for making some like said for metro, if I remember correctly, it was like related to metro or something. So any infrastructure development, we need infrastructure development, isn't it? Without infrastructure development, how we will, we have so many population, we have to find housing for them, we have to provide transportation for them, we have to grow food for them. So we do need development, but how to do development in a way so that it is what is known as sustainable development. Now, what is sustainable development? Sustainable development means that you are taking care of economics, you are taking care of environment, and you are also taking care of the social benefit. We should not only look for monetary benefit, but to also look at the social benefit and the environmental benefit, because see what if we don't take care of the environmental benefit, what will happen? We will have a lot of pollution, and that pollution will cause a lot of disease, and we will get sick, and then when we get sick, you cannot really enjoy the monetary benefit that you have. You will be ending up paying most of the money to those doctors and the hospitals and other stuff. That will of course help in improving GDP, but that's really not what you want. So if you have money and you cannot enjoy that money, if you're not healthy enough to enjoy that money because of all the different pollutions that is happening, then there is no point of having that money, isn't it? So that's we have to look at a holistic development. The other way we can say that it's a holistic development where we take care of the environment, we take care of our well-being, as well as we take care of the society in general, not only for us as humans, but for other species which is present, and also for within the human race, we have different strata of society. The lower like people with less income, middle income, higher income, so all should grow. It should not be that one section of society is going up, the other section is suffering. So that's not really sustainable development. So all this is stuff that how it relates to the environmental aspect of all this stuff will be discussed in this particular course. And as you probably must have got by this time, that this is relevant for whatever you do, whether say if you become a software engineer later on and you are developing certain program, and that if that program it takes longer time to run, that means more energy consumption. More energy consumption means more could be higher environmental footprint. So all those you may not realize it, but for everything that we do from morning to evening, we have certain environmental implications. So how to minimize that as a society, as an industry, as an institution, as a state, as a country, and also as a global. Ultimately, we are all global engineers. We will be global professionals. I would rather say professionals. So In India, as a part of developing country, there is a lot of demand for resources for development activity. There will be a lot of demand. You guys will graduate in 2024, 2025. So, if you look at another say 30, 35 years of your career, so we are looking at around 2055, 2060. So, around that up to 2060, there will be a huge different, like whatever the world is today, by 2050, it will be a very different world. So, and we will have, if we do not take care of the environment, and we will have lots of like a lot of different kind of issues will come up. So, it is better we are proactive and try to solve these issues. So, we will have a lot of demand for resources. It will be resources in the terms of, say, if you have to build a housing for all. Now, housing for all, that is the government program, very beautiful program, but that the program needs a lot of resources. We need concrete, we need sand. Remember, it's sand, we are many places in the country, we are running out of sand. So, what is the alternative to sand? What can we do to, or how to recycle those sand out of that? So, some of those, we will not make you expert in this course, but what we will try to do is to make you aware of the different issues and where to find information about those issues. That's important, because you don't have to memorize all this stuff. What you have to do is you have to understand the issue and to find out where to find the solution. So, later on in your career, wherever you are stuck, wherever you need help, you can always, Professor Google is there. So, or somebody else, if Google will be not there, some other form will be there. So, you can access that and look at those information there. So, need to have a balanced, we have to have a need to have a balanced approach towards development. So, that is what we will be talking about. As a future engineer and professional, you will have to make critical decision related to development activities, whether in the country or abroad as a global level. So, this course, and that is what the course goal is, to provide you the basic tools which will help you in making those decisions. That is what we are going to do. I am not going to, I am not expecting you to become an environmental engineer at the end of this one semester course. For that, you have your civil engineering colleagues, your chemical engineering colleagues, or even chemistry. So, environmental engineering is a multidisciplinary field. So, we have professionals from different fields working in this area, but so they will do that job. It is not like we do not expect you to do that job for that. So, okay, let us come back. Okay. Now, so when we talk about environment, so what is there? We have air, we have water, we have land. So, these are the three basic form of environment, and together that kind of gives us, we talks about our life. So, air issues, water issues, land issues, and that is all together kind of talks about this environmental issues. So, naturally, we will be talking about each one of them is in different weeks from today onwards. So, when we talk about this environmental science, and remember this is environmental science, it is not environmental engineering. That is why it is relevant for all the different disciplines. So, here you have, if you look at it's, as I said earlier, it is a highly multidisciplinary subject. So, you have biology involved, ecology, we will talk about that, chemistry, physics, because a lot of processes and other stuff. You have geology, you have geography, anthropology, demographics. Demographics is what is the type of population in different parts of the world, how the population have changed, how people have evolved and all that. Economics, we kind of talked about that a little bit. Political science plays a role as well, because you have to make a lot of decision making. Philosophy and religion, because there are a lot of religious beliefs which also impacts how we deal with this stuff. A big example is the river Ganges. It is a sacred river. We all like our, especially those of us who follow our Hindu religion, we like for that Ganges river is very, very important, and lot of reference to Ganges in our religious text. But there are many practices also. For example, when we kind of have that last rites of our of the dead bodies, that some of those rituals actually is also polluting river Ganges, because many times it is done on the bank of the river, and in many parts of many states along the river Ganges, there is a belief that you should not burn the body completely. When it is almost burned, say 80–90%, they just give that body to the river, and that's again it is creating a lot of organic loading and all of the different things associated with that, which you will probably hear about it in later part of the course as well. So, and ethical issues. So, lot of and so this, when we talk about environmental issues, all these aspect is there. And all of you in this class kind of will be graduating out. When you graduate out, you will have one or the other specialization from these different sub-disciplines that we have listed here. So each one of such contribution is required to prevent the environmental degradation in the country. So ecosystem, everything on the earth is connected. So it's an ecosystem, living and non-living things, they depend on each other, they affect each other. You may have seen this kind of diagram before. Many of you may have taken environmental science course in your high school, middle school and other stuff. So we'll not, some of these basic stuff we will cover really fast so that you are aware of it. And then when we talk about environment, we talked about water, we talk about air, atmospheric conditions, plants, animals, soils, they're all interlinked, as you can see in this particular diagram as well. So other important stuff is water, energy, environment and food, and that relates to all of us. If you think about that, we all need water, we need clean water to drink, we need water to produce energy, we need energy to produce clean water. Water is related to environment, energy is also related to environment, coal-based thermal power plant, lot of emissions associated with that. Even in your solar panel, lot of rare earth metals. Rare earth metal also has certain environmental footprint. Recently, we had some discussion regarding what to do with those windmills. Those wind power, those blades and other stuff, when they go bad, how to dispose it, what kind of recycling has to be done for that. So energy, environment, they are kind of related as well. And then food. We are close to 8 billion people, and those of you who may have, I don't know whether you were aware, just now we had a Pan IIT conference. It's all totally online, and there one of the theme was on how to feed 10 billion people. So that's what the future is. That's what you guys have to do in terms of how to feed this 10 billion people. Right now we are talking about 8 billion. So to generate food for 8 billion people, water requirement, energy requirement, environmental implications in terms of use of fertilizers, use of pesticides, land use. So all those irrigation water, we need efficient irrigation, we need precision agriculture. So a lot of things are there. So all these are kind of related to each other. And at the end of the day, most of us actually work in either one of these sectors. You might be working for a multinational company, you might be doing data analytics, you might end up doing financial engineering, or do MBA and work as a manager. But ultimately, these are the four major sectors where you will you will be related. Which you will, if you talk to your seniors, if you talk to your parents or uncles who are in those different kind of job, they will tell you that these are the stuff that is the most important in today's world, and this will be important even in your career lifetime. So talking about, because we need food, we need energy, we need to have clean water, air and soil, and of course without water you cannot do anything. So you need to have a clean environment. So before we close this segment, I would like to make a statement that it's important. Say for a healthy economy, you need a healthy workforce, and healthy economy will come when you have, when we say healthy economy needing healthy workforce will come if people does not get sick. And if the people don't get sick, they need clean water, they need clean air. We don't have to put, right now unfortunately we have to put all these masks all the time because of this COVID pandemic, but hopefully that's a temporary phase. But it's that we don't want to have a air filter sticking. Right now this is not really an air filter, but we don't want to have an air filter sticking to our nose throughout our life. So it's like what we have to do sometimes in Delhi these days. So that's the reason why this course, that's what I wanted to highlight in this first video. So again, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.